Oh, there he is.
There it is.
Jack! Congratulations
Yo.
on not getting second. How does it feel?
It feels great. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I can imagine how great it felt when you
Yeah.
started X Marks the Garden and you placed the dynamo and he placed the ink line and you're like, oh, he's dead. He's cooked. And he immediately resigned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like the perfect of perfect hands, like double dynamo, Ouroboros, and heavy or captain. I don't remember, but one of them.
Oh yeah.
It was perfect.
Even if Yovan didn't give up that, that sort of a hand would have just absolutely destroyed him.
Yeah, it was the right call. He was like, he had a feeling he was cooked. He had no real idea how cooked he was, but he was cooked.
Yeah.
Pretty unlucky, I guess.
So, before that, we had the bracket reset where on that final game, before Joven ultimately won with 3 points, the last like two of the 3 turns before you just resigned, you timed out twice. Could you explain what was going on in those moments?
Okay, like to be honest, I was in a VC with others. They were watching me playing, and I was like completely annoyed because of this hand, like because of the hand. It was so fucking horrible. Like, how can I get Octostamp, Slosher, Marigold, and Gootuber like back to back if I have like 5 or 6 openings? Yeah, that's like not really cool. And basically, I knew I lost the game from that second on, but I just tried it and I just passed the last 2 turns because first I was looking for like a solution to maybe come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, the timer was too much. Like it outpaced
Yeah.
me. And in the last one, I just knew it was over. I wasn't able to resign anymore, so I just passed it. It was over. It was obvious that he's going to play 2 big cards there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. There was like a minuscule chance that on the first turn that you timed out could have been able to turn the game back in your favor, but it's like really minuscule. So that is completely fair, honestly.
Like, I think there was at least a small chance if I just kind of did not misplay my tent attack, because it was okay how I placed it, but I think I could have placed it so I can get 2 more specials, so I could actually like triple special. But yeah, that was like I was under pressure and angry, so I did not really think at that moment.
Yeah. It's a good show of why Hill is a very is like one of the biggest is another big enemy like just in any competitive setting.
Now, you mentioned anger, and I know you have a history of frustration for often very valid reasons. Uh, what advice would you have for others if somebody came to you and asked? I guess I'm doing that right now. If somebody came to you and asked you what they could do to like help mitigate their frustrations or challenges they might be experiencing when playing table turf.
Like, to be honest, just study your opponents. It's like one of the best things you can do, so you basically know what is going to happen in the turns. like I made so many predictions in the games I did not play personally, like when I watched Pinon or Zap. I like predicted every card Ewan's going to place right.
Dang.
Damn.
Yeah, it was I think that's a pretty good advice to like learn what your opponents are going to do, to get familiar with all the cards combos, so you cannot like lose to mistakes you maybe did in the past.
That's fair. That's actually some pretty good advice
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, reading what your opponent is gonna do is just like just gives you a lot more defensive and offensive options just in general. So
Yeah.
it's like a really hard skill to master though. But even sometimes making small predictions on what the opponent will do helps a lot.
Yeah, for example,
Like-
on that one square game, I got completely killed by that one charger. Like he completely knew what I'm going to do because he can read everything I'm doing there. Like that dynamo got completely killed. It was thrilled. It was that.
Now, I have a very, very, very important question. It's super important. It's more important than everything, actually. Why is Flutter relevant?
Huh?
Why do I keep seeing Flutter in tournament matches?
Wait, Flutter? Which one is Flutter? Is it the E or is it that other
It's the E.
thing?
It's the E.
Okay. Flutter is like it's actually a great card, and I think it's going to be played way more because of maps like Over the Line or Sticky Thicket. Because if you think about it, these cards instantly activated two specials, and yeah, or for example on Thicket, you instantly get the special. It's actually a viable card, and it's still 14 paint. So I think Flutter was always not one of the worst cards. I personally think it was one of the like okay cards, or maybe even good cards, because also you can use it on Main Street to completely block off your opponent, and I personally think that it's the most efficient way to do it. Like it's the best thing you can do to do what I like to block off. So
Well-
I think it's viable.
I see. Well, in my humble opinion, I think you're completely wrong, and it's a smelly card. But thank you for your input, and and I hope people listen to you more than me because I just don't like the card. This probably should have been asked at the start, but you generally have a history of coming in second. You've come in first before, and you've come in first this time. How many times have you taken first place now?
You know, we have a channel for that. Let me quickly see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that should be the third time, and
Nice.
yeah, it's happening quite a
Nice.
lot in the last tournaments
Yeah.
almost.
Well, I think I've got one more question for you, if you would like to answer it. Give me a fun fact about your Splatoon OC of yours.
You know, I did not really prepare for this. I was thinking about something before I joined the CC, and I'm just going to say my character likes to play Brawl Stars.
Nice. Brawl Stars is a pretty cool game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for like a mobile game.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for the interview. Congratulations on first place, and here's to many more down the road.
Mhm.
Yeah, bye.
And yeah, that was Jack Shaney. And coming up next we do have another of our participants coming in. Jack had a really solid run, just really phenomenal.
Mhm.
But yeah, coming up next in regards to our interviewees, we've got none other than the protagonist.
The main character himself.
We've got Joven. Joven.
Yo,
Yo. Congratulations
Yo.
on second place.
thanks.
Especially considering this was another situation where you had to claw back from a pretty rough position. Pinon took you down 3-2 in the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, quarterfinals. And then you had to climb all the way back to make it to grand finals to face off against Jack. And then the game was like, here you go, have an incline on X marks the garden.
Yeah.
Look, plot armor helps with a lot of things, but when it's the main protagonist versus the goat, it's gonna. I can imagine that the plot armor gets a little tongue-tied. How'd you feel about your tournament participation overall?
I mean, I think I played well. I just got super unlucky in like so many matches.
Yeah, we definitely seen a lot of getting unlucky in general this tournament. Just been a cares passed down to everyone who wins.
So your final game against Joven. I don't have too much good memory as to what happened. I just remembered that it was like there was something to discuss there.
My final game against who?
Against Pinon.
Oh,
Your final game against Pinon. I just remember it being like there was something pretty big that happened in that one. Would you by chance remember it? Or Fauna?
I couldn't try and
it was
check.
square.
You know, for a commentator and interviewer, you'd think I'd put more effort into like recording, marking, and remembering things. We'll move on from that one.
Hard sometimes.
It was an interesting thing. Chat might remember it, but did you try to wall Jack out game 1 of the bracket reset?
Yeah.
Why?
unfortunately. Because, I mean, it would have worked. It would have worked if I got the charger. So.
It would have worked. You would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids.
One of those stupid, unlucky rules.
Joven, your final game against Joven. Yeah, Joven, how did it feel to play against yourself? You know, that's usually what happens. It's a pretty important part of the hero story. Is eventually you find an evil doppelganger version of yourself, and then you fight them. Sometimes you kill them. Sometimes you befriend them. Sometimes you both just agree that you're different and go your separate ways. But you usually fight them. Let's see, what other things? Oh, yeah, no, this is a super, very important question. Very pressing one that I wish to learn more about. Why is Flutter relevant in the competitive meta?
I mean, I didn't use Flutter today.
I saw a couple of Flutters in the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a good big card. And it combos pretty easily with like line cards.
I guess so.
It's like a very square card compared to a lot of the other cards in the game. Like, it's not even like that long or wide. It's pretty much a square.
It just makes me angry.
It's an E.
Yeah.
Like, like I know it's just a me problem, but it makes me angry to see that card.
Why?
Uh, did you learn anything during this tournament? How are the new stages treating you?
Um, they're fine.
Is there any of the new stages that you're particularly struggling with trying to figure out?
Yeah, sticky thicket. It's like I don't have a good deck for it yet, so I just banned it every match.
Fair enough. Thinking about it now, I know I heard some people. I know Jack said when I was interviewing him that Flutter is a pretty flexible card and could arguably work in somewhere like Sticky Thicket. Are there any other like cards that might seem a little unconventional to you that you would consider worthwhile for playing on such a stage? I know I don't think it would actually work out too well, but I look at like a lot of the checkerboard cards and I'm like, I could see this working here.
And for sticky thicket, I mean, you could put flood on the side and just get instant special. Probably.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I'm already
Oh, yeah.
seeing. I just realized you could actually do that with like Mudmouth as well.
Yeah. It also works for like splash mob. What's it called? That's one. Not Threadbringer. Oh, I forgot. Came up in the same update as Threadbringer, the weapon.
I don't remember.
You forgot. Same.
Eye for War. The card that does the thing.
Yeah. So the 12 size card. I think.
Uh,
So last in the diamond bracket a little bit ago you ended up going into losers finals, and I think we've been seeing um uh, we've seen a few more slip ups from you. So I just wanted to ask, how do you still feel confident with your title as the number one Tableturf player? Like, how is your main character status looking? Do you
Yeah.
feel like
I'm confident.
maybe other people could be catching up?
I mean, maybe they're catching up, especially if I keep getting this hands. But just what I get second isn't
Yeah.
like I still won every big invitational. Still win most tournaments, and every like even those I don't win, I almost always get grand finals.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like this is the 10th TBO in a row where I got to grand finals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even when you get knocked out early, you're generally clawing your way back up.
Yeah.
Also,
I do.
I'm trying
Go on.
things right now. Dear gods, no, checkerboard sucks for Sticky Thicket.
It's not as good of a checkerboard map as you may think.
It's a really sticky situation trying to make anything work here. Sorry, you were gonna say something, Fauna?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
I do have one, well, pretty admittedly basic question, but what would be your favorite out of all of the new maps?
Over the line.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. We haven't really, like, I guess it does go for all the new maps, but Over the Lines gimmick is, like, really cool in my opinion, even if it does just boil down to just immediately get special because there's an easily wallable special block and then just immediately special into the other opponent's base. But then again, we haven't really seen much gameplay like that where like we see a special being used on like 10 on like where there's 9 10s left.
And I was gonna say though that they like people have caught up with the like go in with a special aggressively as early as possible to
Yeah.
base. Like people have like tried people are good at countering that now. So it's kind of sometimes you kind of just throw the game by doing a suboptimal 312 early when you try to go and just put the card down. So I think I should do that less. When I
Yeah.
it shouldn't work. Because I mean I think I threw the X Garden game there. Like that X Garden turn game 2 I think in Grand Reset. That was one of the only games this turn where I lost that I didn't actually like have a super bad hand turn 1. So like 2
Oh
games
yeah,
of
that
turn
kind of
1.
reminds me. I can't remember what game it was, but there was a game where you ended up, where I think it was you that ended up using a 312 early, and you ended up losing because of it. Pretty much, I can't remember what game it was. I think it was Grand Finals.
Yeah, might have been
But
not.
yeah, just got a bit too greedy.
I mean I think I was in a pretty bad spot in that game because he got his power climb done. I didn't know he played power climb, otherwise I wouldn't have made that spot so good for him. But yeah, I think I was in a disadvantageous spot because of that, so I had to go in aggressive and try to do something. And it didn't pay out.
I've got one more question for you before we move on ahead. Uh, you know it well. You know it's true. Give me a fun fact about one of your sploonoses.
Let me think for a moment. I haven't actually prepared one. I like burger.
They like the burger?
Yeah.
Nice. What kind of burger do they like?
Big burgers.
The biggest burgers. Fair enough. I can respect that.
Yes.
Alright. Well, congratulations on second place. Best of luck in future tournaments, and here's to many more victories that you likely shall have.
Bye.
Bye. That was Joven, claimer of second place. But that's, I mean, we got a lot of other people in this tournament too. We can't get all of them. But we do have at least one more that we can poke. I think. Oh, there he is. It is Zeb.
Hello, hello.
Zeb, congratulations on earning third place. Very well earned. Very well deserved. We've got we got a couple of questions for you. We got a couple of headaches from me. In all seriousness, though, you did overall play phenomenally. Your deck building is definitely on another level compared to some people out there. But Zeb, some of those games, man. Let's see. Pierce against the tower with Stamp against Zeb. That was Pinon. Oh yeah, in the semifinals. You both had some, like, awful moments in the semifinals against each other.
Which map was that?
I don't remember the exact details as what map that was. I just remember. I know there was it was River Drift, right, Fauna? Where I was like...
Yeah, it was River Drift, where you were just absolutely having a meltdown. I'm pretty sure.
Was that the one where I had to open with Callie?
I'm pretty sure. Like, it wasn't even the Cali. There were just a lot of situations where I'm like, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? Why did he do these? And you were just going all over the place. You had your own rhythm going on. And overall, it did lead to some interesting things, but in a lot of cases, they ultimately didn't work out. So I guess in a more professional way, my question to you is what goes into your planning on how to play out your cards? Like, what strategies do you tend to employ?
So, I guess there's obviously the openers that you start with. I try to think about good turn 2 and then like turn 3 if I can. But then just like base combos, and personally I like to try to disrupt other players lately. It doesn't always work, but after playing a lot of the top level players for a while, you start to get used to what they're going to do, and so it becomes a little bit easier to try to interfere with them. But they can also do the same to you, so you have to try to balance all of that, you know?
Yeah. I know there was a specific game where you ended up going with, like, in one of your games, I can't remember, you ended up putting a power clam somewhere. And yeah, you put it like in the mid area. And I saw there was a little spot that ended up getting taken by Joven. I believe this was in comeback finals, where if you put the clam in that bottom corner, you would have got special. And I feel like especially around the end, like that power clam special was not claimed. If you had gotten that might have been a very different game. Do you go back and do you review your games and see what might have went wrong, what you could have done better?
I do watch VODs back, and yeah, I try to realize what I do make mistakes on, and I try to realize what my opponents capitalize on. Was that the Thunder Point game that we played at the end?
That might have been the Thunder Point. I think it was the Thunder Point because I'm pretty sure I was reeling then again too.
Yeah, so I think I opened with Big Man on that one, and that it's an opener, but it's not one of my preferred openers. It's a little harder for me to play off of, and I think I had to use the my ZF charger turn 2, but I really didn't like the way I played it. I didn't see really any way to disrupt what Yuvan was going to do, because I wanted to play the angle shooter to try to disrupt like his fry combo or something if I could, but I really couldn't find a way into his base no matter what I did. And after that, I just didn't draw the cards I needed to follow up and do any sort of comboing.
Yeah. I have game 4. So your 4th game against Joven. I seem to be like my memory's definitely failing me right now. I'm probably more tired than I'm willing to admit. But like game 4 against Joven. I seem pretty confident in the past that one was yours to take. I'm pretty sure that was the Power Clan one too.
I game 4, was that the Gemini one or the square one? Because I think I threw the square one.
Oh wait, no, the Gemini one. That one is the Gemini one. Cause
Okay.
there was an opportunity early in where you could have sectioned off a piece of land, and Joven didn't have a very good way to kind of break through, or even set up to like pierce or do much of anything in that situation. And if you just cut off that portion of land, it would have meant you had a huge chunk of area that was safe and in your contention, and room to start pushing into his area.
Yeah. I think that was when I played my heavy splatling, because I did it pretty defensively, because I was really expecting a push from him, but then he kind of just played middle, and the way I tried to defend was just a really bad call for that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a bad judgment call, but I was just afraid he was gonna disrupt me more than I would be able to disrupt him, you know?
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fair. Let's see. Fauna, do you have any questions for him?
Trying to. There was a double Gemini game where got against Joven, where got really lucky with the Octobrush.
Oh yeah, that
The
Octobrush.
Octobrush.
Yeah.
And basically just ended up you managed to be pretty even in terms of special, and even after that clutch Octobrush, you still ended up unfortunately losing. And I just want to ask how you felt in that moment.
That was honestly a roller coaster of emotions, because the Octobrush wasn't playable, and then I was basically out of moves, so I specialed my Inkvac because I knew I could get more special to follow up with my screen last turn. And then after I Inkvac, the Octobrush suddenly became available, and I was just thinking, where did the spot come up? And I was like, it's nothing back in my base, because I already checked there, but like I didn't see it for a second. And then when I found it, I was like, oh, this is sick. But then the last turn, Yuvin played very quickly, and I knew he had Inkvac perfectly over mine. And I forget the exact score, but I think I was down by 1 point, and even if I clashed it, it wouldn't have mattered. He still would have won because he already had the 1 point lead. So even if I also had a perfect 3-12, it just wouldn't have mattered at all. And I don't know, everything just felt awful there. So I just put it where I would get the most space without clashing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That was honestly a pretty intense game, I'm gonna be honest.
I argued which 312 I would place first, because I figured it was more likely that Yuvin had the splatter screen, so I went for Inkvac first. But I don't know if he's just experimenting, or if he knows my decks and 312s well enough to know that I would also play the Inkvac. So who knows?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the scary thing about 312s. Is there's only so many of them, and there's only so many of them that are considered like worthwhile to play.
Yeah, and in most cases, you're pretty safe just playing the splatter screen because most people are also going to run splatter screen
Yeah.
unless they actively want to throw you off, you know?
And the worst part is if you get
Yeah.
known for you having a specific card that you like to play for a 312, then everybody just knows to counter that, and then you're like, that's not my favorite card anymore. I'm sad.
Yeah, and I've been playing Inkvac on Gemini for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so your next question that I've got for you, this is a very contentious issue. It's very problematic. I'm very frustrated by this. Why is there so much Flutter? Why is Flutter relevant?
So, I think Flutter is a fairly good card overall. Flutter and Fry 2 are basically the best line cards in the game because we don't have anything bigger. But some of the new map geometry, so to say, kind of works really well with Flutter. Like on Mask Mansion, you can easily play Flutter up against the inert blocks, but also on Sticky Thicket, you can play it so that it activates, and I personally like to use it as like a really, really backup opening because I can still get one of my combos off if I have to open with a Flutter. It's not my favorite, but it still works. So I think just kind of the way the new maps are, plus some of the newer cards we're getting, make it a little more viable now.
Fair enough. Well, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. Flutter is a bad card, but fair enough. I'll respect your opinion. And last question, something a little more lighthearted that I'm not going to step on anybody's toes about, but give us a fun you don't get to come up to this point very often. Give us a fun fact about one of your OCs.
Oh, I've had it ready for a while.
Nice!
So, Zeb is a nickname that I call my cat. And
Aw.
so, my Octoling is just kind of like, what if my cat were a cephalopod?
Oh my goodness, I love this
That's
idea.
Cool. That's so cool, actually.
So I like to play like the Splatlings a lot because I imagine her just tearing everything to shreds, and you know, that's very cat-like in my opinion.
Aw. Okay, that's like one of my favorite answers for an OC of all time. Thank you for sharing. That has redeemed everything today. No, you're fine. But yeah, really good third place. Congratulations on getting that. Best of luck trying to climb higher. I know for a fact that you can, and we'll probably see you here again, if not higher up on the leaderboard. Like, you're catching up. You're figuring things out. You had a really good run, and I can easily see you climbing even higher further down the road.
Yeah, I think I can do better. I don't know. I made some mistakes that I couldn't recover from, is all.
Yeah.
Such is life.
Truly.
Mistakes are just things to learn from.
But yeah, best of luck in future brackets, and we'll see you another time.
Thank you.
And with that,
And then
that's everybody.
Yep.
Well, it's not everybody, but you know, there's just us now.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna close things out because I've got 75 minutes of downtime before I go and commentate an ARMS tournament now. So
You're commentating two things back to back.
it's the ARMS Invitational. It's gonna be pretty big. It's gonna be pretty hype. Just a brief bit of self-plugging here since I've set my momentum up. But if anybody would like to check it out, in 75 minutes, be sure to be on this channel to watch me talk more about a completely different video game. But with that all said and done, that's going to be it for me. That's going to be it for Fauna. Do you have any last words
Yep.
you would like to say?
No.
But you said yes. You said yes. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do in anger is I'm gonna thank all of our beautiful viewers for watching. I hope everybody had a great time. And we will see you again in the future for more Table Turf. Ciao!
Bye.